Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to KQEG TV. Your host tonight, Terry Erickson, Larry Mell. He's Terry, I'm Larry, and this is Seven Rivers Sports. Our guest tonight, don't miss this, Bobby Vandenberg, one of the Class Act coaches, one of many in this area.
An icon, too. There's no question. Taken for turbo to heights unparalleled.
Yep. So today we're going to maybe sort of finish out football here a little bit. We've been doing little pieces on some mostly the skill positions because that's what we mostly know about and what most people relate to.
Right.
So today we're going to do receivers. We've got some wideouts and we got some tight ends. And Terry's going to give us a little blurb, but there's one thing that I noticed when I was listing these, that we've got 7 kids listed here. And as our, top performers, some of the top performers that we watched anyway. And 4 of these kids played on run teams that were basically run teams. Now that says something about each one of these kids, that, that they reach that kind of height and they didn't get the ball that often. So let's start at the top, and there's no particular order here. I just listed them as I thought of them. The first one I have is Hans Erickson, Logan.
One of the key players, I think, in Logan's 3rd straight MVC crown. Great work ethic. I think one of his strengths, too, when I watched him play, is his vertical jump and the fact that he could go up in a fade route and make some tremendous catches. Had 500 yards, 7 TDs. Really knew how to run routes. When Vince Kuby needed a first down, who did he go to? Hans Erickson.
That's why his completion rate was so good. That's one of the reasons. Brad Glendenning, Central.
A quality player, intelligent player, really knew the Coach Kaler's Red Raider scheme. I mean, knew it really in the dark. I mean, was just tremendous. Great jumping ability, led his team with 40 catches, and you'll see him as a starter on the basketball team. Oh, yeah. A quality young man, Brad Glendenning.
Andy Vagel, Aquinas.
2 years the top player for the Blue Golds, and #1 receiver the past 2 years in the area too. I think he caught something like 7 TDs, 20 catches, and an all-time one of the all-time leading receivers at the Blue Golds. Not really physically that big, but knew how to get open, knew how to use his body to catch the ball.
Yep, shield. Now here's a kid that did play for a past team. Travis Krukow, La Crescent.
I think one of the most feared lethal weapons in the Mississippi Valley, or the Hiawatha Valley Conference. Just a tremendous receiver. The all-time leading receiver, Larry, the all-time leading receiver in La Crescent Lancer football history. Think about that, back to the late 60s with 128 catches, 1,900 yards, just a tremendous player and good hands. Great in the vertical routes. That was his strength.
Yep. West Salem, another run team this year, Brandon Unser.
He was really their Z-back, and basically he was the guy that they sent vertical. They liked to run him in motion because his strength was in the open field. Yep. They ran him on a vertical route in the motion, and they also ran him on those bubble screens because he was so effective in the wide open spaces.
Once he got the ball, yeah.
Right, a leading receiver, all-conference, played both ways. Also an all-conference hockey player. Really good athlete, Brandon Unser.
Couple tight ends, Luke Collum, GET.
A 2-sport athlete, 6'5", their leading receiver. I don't know if a lot of our viewers know this, but his strength maybe is in basketball.
Yeah.
And he was a AP honorable mention All-State last year. Will be one of the key players for Mark Wagner's team. As you said early in the preface, they were a running team basically.
Yeah.
And he was a strong blocker, but with his size, they used him in a variety of ways.
And they even used him in a wideout capacity a lot of the times when they had to have stuff. That's the guy they went to. One that we didn't really see. Also a defensive strength, Adam Wunsch, Bangor.
I think one of the best, maybe underrated athletes in the area. And I talked to Rick Mullenberg, and he was the reason they were 12-1, and he's just a complete player. Basically, his strength was at middle linebacker also. Tremendous speed, I think in the 40 he was something like 5.0 in the 40. Just a lot of ability. Best tight end that Bangor's ever had, I think, and all conference both ways, plays basketball and baseball. May go to Wisconsin and enter the medical field, and so I'm not sure he's going to use his talents on Saturday afternoon at the next level. But he was, I really think he was one of the better players in the Coulee region.
That's it for that segment. Stick around. Next, Bobby Vandenberg. We'll be right back.